Now that the game is over and everyone has kind of processed their frustration, including myself, I think it's time we go ahead and talk about some key takeaways from the game. I know after the game, everyone was kind of pissed off. Everyone was annoyed due to the fact that we had to lose in a brilliant game, in a game where we played so amazing. We controlled the game, like we just completely shut out Arsenal. But unfortunately, we had to lose due to goalkeeping error. That's football. But I think there were so many key takeaways. There were so many positives to take away from this game. So due to the VAR errors, like on the pen, the possible pen that wasn't given, the possible foul on Mason Mount, the goalkeeper, like there were a lot of them. Like this weekend, I think Vice they've just continued from where they left off last season. We came back hoping it would change, but it is what it is. So I guess we just have to deal with it. But we'll go ahead and talk about some of the positive from this game. First off, I want to start by talking about like the players, the signings. Those guys were amazing, man. Those guys were absolutely amazing, and I want to start off by talking about Cunha. For about the first 25 to 30 minutes, it kind of felt like he was out of the game, but after he made that run, the run where he had to drop into the midfield, he took the ball on half turn and he drove all the way past 4 or 5 defenders and took the shot. I think that was when he got into the game. That was when Cunha got into the game, and you could start seeing him make things happen. Amorim said it. He's one of those players who can basically get you he can get you something out of nowhere. Like he's those players who can make something in a moment. And that that right there, that's what he meant. I thought we were getting another Son moment, like the goal Son scored against, is it Man City? I'm not sure, but Son has a similar goal where he goes past 4 or 5 defenders and he scores. I thought we were getting another moment. I thought we were getting something similar, but that's exactly what Amorim is talking about. And that's what you want to see from a Manchester United player. This is not new. This are stuff he would do at when he was at Wolves. The goal he scored from outside the box. He did so many individual things where you look at it, you're like, wow, this is amazing. He did it at Wolves. But unfortunately, we've been so starved at Manchester United with the quality we've had that when we see stuff like that, we're so wowed by it, like we're surprised. But unfortunately, like that should be the type of players, the type of stuff we see at Manchester United. But unfortunately for us, we've been so starved of it. So yeah, that's a little bit of what Amarin was talking about. His ball progression was there to see. I don't think it's something new. It was on display. He did a very good job. Buemo, I think he absolutely terrorized Calafiori. He did well. Like another one I'm gonna talk about is Patrick Dogu. We've been seeing this player grow into a better player ever since preseason started. Like he came in last season, everyone started criticizing. But during the preseason, we could see another version of Dogu. Like he was growing into the game. He was becoming a better and better player. And I think what has happened, he's carried that on. Like the shot, he hit the post. He hit the post when I was kind of surprised he took the shot. And those are things that you probably wouldn't have seen him doing last season. But now this season, he's taking those shots. He's like, I'm going to shoot from here. He did it during the preseason. He did it during the game. He did it twice. The first one, he took it from there was a free kick where Bruno passed it to him and he took the shot. It went wide. But the second time he had an opportunity, he took the shot and he hit the post. If it was going in, Raya had no chance. He stood no chance of saving it. And those are some of the things we want to see. Like Matthias Delete, he was so good. I said it. Like that's the perfect center back. He's always he's always like he's a little bit sharper when you watch him play that role and you watch Maguire play that role. And I'm not saying Maguire is a bad player. I just think Delete is the better player. Partly maybe due to his age, but Delete is a little bit faster. Like he can anticipate, where the ball is gonna go, where to put in a block. So when you watch Delete and you watch Maguire, you kind of see like, okay, this guy is better suited for the role. Maguire can be like the backup. I don't mind. Like I said, he's still a good player, but I would rather have the lead starting. And I think he had an amazing game. Like Victor Jokeres was completely lost. Like he was, when you come to a new league and he was so surprised. Like, is this the Prem? Yeah, that's how much of a good game he had. Another player I'm gonna talk about is Mount. I said it. He's been picking up, He's been getting better and better every day. And I think he's just continued from like that front three who started of Mount, Cunha, and Buemo. I think they did, like, the pressing was amazing. They pressed as a unit. They did a good job. The only thing lacking was the finishing. And like I said, you take one of them out, you put a striker in there with something close to that work rate, and we get a goal. Because it goes from the defenders being able to like have a second to think to the defenders having to stay on their toes because they have a presence. So like I said, I think that that attack was fantastic. The only thing missing was a striker. But kudos to all the players. These players look like they are ready to run. Amorim has a unit. He has players who are ready to run for him. He has players who are ready to fight. He has players who are ready to play for him, And that's one thing that when you have as a manager, it makes your job easier. When you can tell your players run and they run. When you can tell the players like, fight and they fight. So kudos to all the players. I just pretty much pointed out some of the players, but I think everyone did an amazing job. And one more thing I'm going to talk about is Amorim, the way he defended Baindi. We all complained about the fact that Baindi was very weak in the air. He could have done better, which I think we all agree. But he did defend Baindi. And what I can say about that is, looking at it, Amorim is like, first off, he's not going to throw his player under the bus. But he's like, okay, what if I don't get a goalkeeper? He wants to play possession football. I know Onana is better at shot stopping than Baindi is, but Onana was brought in to play the ball on the ground, to pass the ball, but he hasn't been doing that. And if you watch Baindi's passing in this game, you would definitely see that he did a very good job. Like, it was amazing. I was surprised. So I'm looking at it like Onana might actually lose his place. Like, this is something we don't want to hear, but Onana might actually be losing his place. Pep dealt with a similar thing at Man City, where Edison he's not one of the best shot stoppers, but he faced a low amount of shots. And because he faced a low amount of shots, Man City were able to play the football out from the back. That might be something that ends up happening this season, where Baindi becomes number one and Onana has to drop to the number 2 role because he hasn't been doing enough of what he's supposed to do, enough of what he was brought in to do, which is to play with his feet. He hasn't been doing that. So that's one thing that I would say that it's going under the radar. And I think if we're not careful, Baindi might actually be the number 1 this season. Plus, we didn't face that much shots. We didn't really, like, when you don't concede chances, your goalkeeper has less room to make errors. The 1 or 2 chances he gets, he's more likely to save them. I don't think Baindi is that bad to the point where, okay, if he faces like 3 shots in a game, he's always going to concede 1 or 2. No, absolutely not. So that's one thing I'm going to say. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the midfield partnership. Because I think the way it's going, we either sign a goalkeeper or we sign a midfielder before the end of the transfer window, or we might not even get any. So what Amorim has been showing us throughout preseason that Casemiro is going to play, because we all know Bruno has to play. And whenever Bruno played during preseason, Casemiro was there. You know, there were times when Bruno played in the 10, Ugarte and Maino played, but whenever Bruno played in the 8, he played alongside Casemiro. That's to tell you that he's going to play a role this season. And I think Amorim has looked at it. A lot of us were like, we would rather have Ugarte, but that's why he's the one on the training ground. And he has looked at it and he has said to himself, I would rather have Casemiro in there, you know. He might be slow, but he's gonna pass. He's gonna pass. Ugarte is fast, but he's very vulnerable with the ball. If you want to play possession football, if you want to control the game, you want to keep the ball, you need those players who can pass. Casemiro, I think he might be slow, but if you watched how he played, he's being smart about how he goes about it, you know, and that's what players tend to do when they become older, when they don't have that pace anymore. You want to be smart, you want to use your body and stuff like that. So I think Amorim has just decided that, okay, we would have to use Casemiro because I think he's the better passer. He can anticipate and stuff like that. And then other teammates would have to compensate for the fact that he's not quick enough, which is very sad because I still think we need a backup if we're going to use Casemiro this season. Because what if he gets injured? What if he gets injured? What if fatigue starts creeping in, you know? This is the start of the season. He's had a break. But what if fatigue starts creeping in as the season goes on? We have to look at situations like that. We don't want to find ourselves in a situation where Ugarte has to be our number one midfielder for the rest of the season. We're going to concede a lot. We're going to have a lot of stupid decisions like the shot he took against Arsenal, where he could have passed the ball to Mbeumo, he could have passed the ball to Ahmad. No, I don't want to watch that. Like, I've had enough of it last season. I'm trying to have a better mental health this season. So please, Manchester United, get us a backup option in midfield. Like, you know, get us a backup option in midfield. And I think the next game against Fulham, we all can be excited, and I think that should be a very winnable game, especially if we go out there and play how we played against Arsenal, which I believe we're gonna do it. Then we should be winning that game. But drop your thoughts in the comment sections. Let me know what you think. If you have anything else to add, let me know in the comment sections. And thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, and see you on our next episode.